Hey folks, it is Sunday, August 13th. The time is 3:16 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 24 degrees Celsius. And I'm here in the Canary District on the east end of downtown Toronto. And I've got my trusty e-scooter with me. And this here is the beginning of Front Street East, or at least the eastern terminus of it. And across the street we have the Corktown Common Park. And for this one, I'll be hopping on the e-scooter and riding west along Front Street East. Well, the part of it that I can ride on as it turns into a one-way street the further west I go for a few blocks. And then maybe I'll ride in front of Union Station and then loop up to Yonge Street. And from there I'll head north and eventually make my way over to the Bloor Viaduct. Not entirely sure on the route. But all right, let's get moving here. I'm still a bit tired from my trip as I got back 2 days ago, but I didn't want to waste the day, hence the scooter ride. It's a little easier to do one of these than a walking video. And as I rode my way down to the Canary District here from Midtown, it's hard not to compare and contrast the streets of Toronto to Paris and Barcelona, where I just was. And this here is a newer neighborhood in the city. It was initially built as student housing, athlete housing for the Pan Am Games, with the goal to turn it into a mixed-use community. I think it's been relatively successful. And here is Cherry Street. If you could turn left here and head down to the Distillery District. There's more new condos going in on the southwest corner of the intersection there. And last summer I went to Amsterdam, and it was hard to be a bit not disappointed in our cycling infrastructure when I got back to Toronto, although the Netherlands pretty much sets the gold standard for that sort of thing. But I was surprised at how well Paris incorporates bike lanes, and that is something that they've been building out. And the new mayor of Paris has been spearheading a lot of those projects. And Barcelona too seem to have a vastly superior cycling infrastructure to this city. In fact, the only city in North America that really holds up to those examples, I think, would be Montreal. I didn't get a chance to rent a bike or e-scooter in those cities. Well, I kind of wish I did. I have to veer to the right here and then make a left back onto Front Street. As to the right is Eastern Avenue. But to the left it merges back into Front Street East. And for the Front Street portion of this ride, I won't have the luxury of being in a bike lane. But I will get to ride through one of my favorite neighborhoods, the St. Lawrence neighborhood. We should have a neat view of the Flatiron Building. And I imagine things will be quite a bit busier over there. But it is a gorgeous day here. It was kind of rainy and cool when I was in Paris. A lot of gray skies. The weather in Barcelona was much better, but it felt a bit hotter than this. I would say this is just about perfect. And straight ahead is the future home of Corktown Station. Metrolinx.com/Ontario line for more info. Apparently they'll be announcing some anticipated opening dates for the Eglinton Crosstown. That's a Metrolinx project that it's going to be about 4 to 5 years past when it was supposed to open, and way over budget as well. So I don't think people in the city have high hopes for the Ontario line being built on time. This is Berkeley Street. On the left is an old opera house. It's the home of the Canadian Opera Company. And from here on, the street should start to get a bit busier. And this is Sherbourne Street, which features one of the city's best bike lanes. This is never fun to ride through. Street parking on the right, traffic on the left. What is this blue Chevy doing? And here come some of those views I like so much. What is this Nissan doing on the left? That is the financial district in the backdrop. And the St. Lawrence Market on the left. It's a double-decker sightseeing bus. I think those run about $70. But I think it also includes admission to the CN Tower or the aquarium. I think you get a choice. At least that was the case last time I looked into it. There's a nice outdoor patio. Something I saw a whole lot of in Barcelona and Paris. Although those cities don't get quite as cold as it does here in the winter. guess some people don't realize when you hear sirens, you're not supposed to get in the way of any emergency vehicles making their way through where you are. So this is Church Street, and this is where I'll be forced off of Front Street. At least if I want to follow traffic laws, I will be, as on the right of the Flatiron Building here, it becomes Wellington Street, and Front Street on the left side of it is an eastbound one-way street. They've redone the sidewalk here on the right, and it looks quite nice. There's Birksey Park with its famous dog fountain on the left. And I think this wiring for streetcars is new here over top. I don't think I've ever seen that before on this stretch of Wellington. So I can connect back to Front Street by going left here at Yonge and making a right at the Hockey Hall of Fame. We'll just ride past Union Station and the Royal York Hotel, then I'll make my way back over to Yonge. There's usually a pretty big crowd on weekends on Front Street, so let's go see if that's the case. I imagine it would be quite busy down by the lake today. All right, back to Front Street. And the CN Tower comes into the shot. Probably Toronto's most well-known landmark. Said probably, it definitely is. There's the Union Station on the left. And the Royal York on the right. There's not as many people out here as I thought there might be. Some food stands out on the left. Matte black rear engine vet. This is Simcoe Street. Maybe I'll head over to John and then I'll head north. They've recently reopened up Simcoe fully there. On the left we have the Metro Toronto Convention Center. I don't think there's any events going on this weekend, and just after that will be the Sky Dome where the Chicago Cubs are in town. Jose Bautista was honored by the Jays yesterday in a ceremony, and he signed a one-day contract to retire as a Blue Jay. And they added him to their level of excellence at the Sky Dome, which is well-deserved for Joey Bats. But sadly, the Jays lost Friday and Saturday to the Cubs, and they're losing today when I checked the score before I headed out. But we've made it to Yonge Street. There's a look left into where the Sky Dome is. Downtown seems to just have a quiet vibe today for a weekday afternoon in the summer. If I were to guess, I'd say there's probably less tourists at this time than during July. Just a guess. If you know for sure, let me know down in the comments. Well, it's quite different from the last two cities where I was, which were pretty much tourists everywhere I went. And the great thing about those cities is they really embraced micromobility. It wasn't just bikes and e-bikes, but there were e-scooters everywhere you looked, something that's technically banned in Toronto. But it's quite stupid that they are. Comes a fire truck. Let's make sure it's not turning onto King Street. Hey, there's a Florida license plate. This stretch of Yonge Street is quite good for patios. This is Richmond Street. So I guess I am going to make a right on Queen. right, so this is east on Queen Street West. There's a New York plate. So there are no streetcars along this stretch of Queen, as Queen is closed between Bay Street and Victoria up ahead. Let's go right here. And I don't know why I did that. I was gonna head down to Adelaide and I realized south of Richmond, it is a one-way street going in the other direction. Oops. I knew that too. Oh well. We'll do a little walking action just a block south here. I wanted to check out how the bike lanes were doing on Adelaide as the city's been moving them from the south side to the north side. I guess I could ride my scooter without the power. Or I could just walk it. This thing doesn't roll very well if you don't give it any juice. So this is the financial district. And it doesn't look like The bike lanes have been moved to the north side of Adelaide for this stretch. These last two cars here are red light runners. All right, so this stretch of Adelaide is still a shit show. This is Bay Street, so I'll make a left at Yonge and then I'll head north from there. I guess it's better to come through this area now than during rush hour on a weekday. And this is north up the east side of Yonge Street. And I think later this week, the Canadian National Exhibition will be opening. I went there opening day last year and made a few videos. Maybe I'll do the same this year. Perhaps even a live stream. And this is Queen Street, which you can't turn left or right onto. I don't know if there's any events going on at Dundas Square. I guess I'll find out in a moment. Sounds like something's going on at the square. It says 20 years in the square, and it looks like there's a beer garden set up. There's the Eaton Center across the street. So from the world's largest jeans store to a tacky but fun downtown square. And this is Yonge and Dundas. And apparently our new mayor still wants to proceed with the plan to rename Dundas Street, which will cost millions of dollars for the city, not to mention an untold amount of millions for all the businesses along the street that'll have to change their signage and marketing, and the inconvenience to all the residents. I haven't actually met a single person who agrees with renaming Dundas Street. I get the controversy surrounding Henry Dundas, but why not just undedicate it to him or from him? That stand is sort of a footnote in history lesson for future generations. And we're at Gerrard Street. I feel like there's been a lot of emergency vehicles on this one. You know what? Rather than deal with Yonge Street, let's go right onto Gerrard here. We get to be in a bike lane and go back through the east side of downtown. I'm going to be making my way up to the Bloor Viaduct anyways. On the right is TMU, the university formerly known as Ryerson. It's amazing how much quieter it is. Then on Yonge, this is Church Street coming up. That's a really neat looking sky straight ahead. I'll be riding by the Allan Gardens in a moment. Which is still the scene of a very large homeless encampment, the largest in the city. I recorded a video through there about a month ago. That is still getting a lot of views. I think it's well over 150,000 views now. That is coming up just on the left here. That's the park on the left. All right, maybe I'll go left on Sherburne Street. Which I alluded to earlier as having one of the best, if not the best, bike lane in the city. And things look about the same in the Allan Gardens right now as they did when I walked through it. And that video has a lot of comments on it, most of which I'm not even going to touch with a 10-foot pole. I like to go through my comments every now and then. Let's turn right on Carlton and reply to some of the juicier ones. I just will let the comments be on that particular video. And this is Cabbagetown. And coming up is Parliament Street. I'll make a left on Parliament. And I'll take that up to Bloor, but it is very quiet through here as well. In general, the west side of downtown is quiet, or is busier than the east side. The Canadian Contemporary Dance Theatre on the right. And Cabbagetown is known for having a very large collection of Victorian homes, the largest in North America. And if you were to turn right there, you'd find yourself in the heart of where much of them, or many of them, are located. This is Wellesley Street coming up. Oh, he's got to be careful riding in the door zone like this. If you're ever not safe or feeling safe, you can always take the entire lane beside you. These people should be crossing. They press the button. So when I get to Danforth and Broadview, that will be where the Taste of the Danforth Festival is taking place. I walked through there yesterday making a video. It seems like an appropriate place to end this one. There's Castle Frank Station on the left as I head over the Rosedale Valley. I imagine some of these people might be making their way over to the festival. And this is the Prince Edward Viaduct, aka the Bloor Viaduct. It's a smart idea, just jump into the bike lane without looking behind you. As I head over Bayview Avenue and the Don River and soon the Don Valley Parkway. And make my way out of downtown. Sometimes when I do these rides, I like a point A to point B approach. This was more of a meandering around kind of ride. I just wanted to get out and explore the city a bit. I'll start pounding the pavement again tomorrow. And Bloor Street East has become Danforth Avenue. And Taste of the Danforth is taking place just on the other side of the intersection here. Quite the crowd of people. It's busier now than it was yesterday when I went through here. And this is Broadview Station, just up here on the right. And there's a little parquet here where I think I will wrap things up. The Broadview Subway Station parquet. On that note, wow, that's a lot of share bikes. I hope you enjoyed this ride. It's a bit of a random one. Along Front Street, through downtown, the Financial District, Entertainment District, over to Yonge, up to Wellesley, and making my way eventually over to here at the Broadview Station Subway Parquet. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership down in the description. I have an Instagram account at Johnny Strides, and there is a super thanks button appearing below the videos if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, it's good to be back in Toronto. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.